All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And once again, we have another new release that is going to be coming out next Friday, which is the 23rd. And it's from the Storm side of Storm Products, which is the brand new Summit Ascent. So the Summit Ascent, it's got colors remind me of like winter, which is good because we have fall and winter leagues coming up. But the blue, silver, and black, it's really sharp. Reminds me, like I said, a lot of winter. But it's pinned over my bridge. CG kick, it's pretty standard layout for me when it comes to most of my bowling balls that I drill. I just let the cores and the covers kind of dictate where I need to be. But we also do have the same layout on a Phase 2. We're going to be comparing the Summit Ascent to the Phase 2 because they're pretty close in the lineup category where they fit in Storm's line. So we're going to go ahead and compare them. But the Storm Summit Ascent has the R2S Solid cover stock, which is famous when it comes to Storm. And also, too, it comes out of the box at 4,000 grit, where the Phase 2 has the TX16 solid cover stock, and it comes out of the box at 3,000. So the numbers are a little bit different. The RG on the Summit Ascent is 246, differentials 056, and the Phase 2 is 248 RG, 051 differential. So the numbers are slightly a little bit different, and the covers and the cores, this comes out of the box with a little bit less surface, even though it looks chalky. It's only 4,000 grit. Where the Phase 2 comes to the box a little bit duller. So I'm expecting this one just to be a little bit cleaner than the Phase 2. But so far, from what I heard, this ball is unbelievable. So let's go ahead and take it out on the lanes and ball in the house shot here and see how they compare. All right, guys. So like I said, I have not thrown this ball one single shot. Actually, my buddy Dave Menders did, and he split the 8-9. So it's 1 for 1. Hopefully we can keep it going. But yeah, we're just going to, typical house shot here. We're going to go a little bit straighter to start out and work our way in. And the Phase 2 is a staple in everybody's bags, as anybody knows for the last, God, I don't even know how many years. Phase 2s are, Storm's benchmark ball. It's the Phase 2 in the IQ Tour now. But this one I think is going to be a great addition for, something that's a little bit earlier that wants to maybe come off a little bit more. Wow. It's pretty smooth down lane. I personally really like this so far. Granted, I've only thrown 2 shots and I've struck, so that's easy to say. But this one, very smooth. Very, very smooth. Now, I feel like once I actually get my hand after it and move a little bit inside, we're really going to see what this ball can do. But so far, really impressed. Okay. A little flat 10 just because, sometimes with the solid bowling balls, they kind of don't want to go through the pins the greatest. So that's understandable. But we're going to move a couple left off that and see if we can get that 10 out. Yeah, I really like that. I actually got my hand after a little bit more, and it really wanted to, come off the end of the pattern, but it was a predictable motion. All right, guys. Now we're going to be comparing the Summit Ascent to the Phase 2. I did touch it up a little bit of surface, maybe just a little bit too much, but it's older, so it's going to shine up quicker. But just to kind of give it a little bit of comparison between, the Phase 2 and the Summit Ascent. Summit Ascent is really impressive so far. So now we're going to compare the Phase 2, and then we're going to sit down and talk about how these two compare, what I saw, and how the Summit Ascent's going to fit into my bag. That's for you, Dombrowski. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and talk about Summit Ascent. So the Summit Ascent, wow, this ball is actually really impressive. So to be honest with you, I wasn't completely sold with the original Summits. I was actually talking to my rep, my sales rep, and I thought the Summit Peak, we both think that the Summit Peak was just overlooked just because of the fact that there were so many Pearl balls out at the time. You could throw other stuff other than the Summit Peak. So it kind of got put not really on the back shelf. And then the original Summit for me was really close to a Phase 2. And Phase 2, you can't go wrong with a Phase 2. So I didn't really throw a Summit much. Now this Summit Ascent, like I said, it's pinned over my bridge, standard layout. You can already tell it's kind of shined up a little bit because it only came in a box of 4,000. This ball is super impressive. Definitely with the Phase 2. The Phase 2 is a little bit smoother down lane, especially here on the house shot. This one kind of reads the same spot, maybe goes a hair longer, but for a solid, it definitely wants to come off of it pretty good, which is really impressive because it adds to the solid cover stock bowling balls. It adds a new piece that I feel like we've been kind of missing, where the Ion Pro is super smooth, Optimum Idle, very smooth, Phase 2, very smooth. They're all controllable. This one is controllable, but for a solid, like I said, it really wants to come off of it. So I'm actually really excited to throw this, definitely in leagues, obviously, but also as a tournament bowler that bowls a bunch of different patterns. I'm so sorry. That bowls on a bunch of different patterns. I really feel like this ball is going to be very useful when maybe the Phase 2s, Optimals are a little bit too smooth, but it's not time to get into something shiny. You still need that strong, symmetrical piece that wants to come off it. I think the Summit Ascent is going to be a really good option. It kind of fits the step up from, like I said, Phase 2, Optimum Idle, just because it comes off of it a little bit more. Now, the Ion Pro, it's a little unique because it is an asymmetric piece. It's a weaker asymmetric piece, in my opinion. But comparing the Summit to the Ion Pro, which is a huge seller right now for us, this one is going to come off of it a little bit harder, where the Ion Pro is going to be very controllable, blend out those lane conditions. This one, when you want to move, maybe 3, 4, 5 left and still have that solid cover stock bowling ball, you can get into this, and it'll definitely come off and get those corners out. So thank you guys for watching the video. Head over to stormbowling.com and your local pro shop. Get this August 23rd. It is next Friday, the 23rd. Very good option in your bag. I think it's going to be very useful for myself. Like I said, for a solid to really come off of it, it's very unique piece. Not going to lie, it smells like root beer, not cream soda, but it's okay. It still looks cool. Reminds me of winter, like I said. And also, too, shout out to Coolwick. This is one of their the hype shirts that you can find on coolwick.com. Very comfortable. Go to coolwick.com, use my code RMcCormick10 for 10% off your order. And also, too, cannot forget Krista and Lee Sant with Bowler X. Thank you guys for taking amazing care of me personally, and also staffers and customers across the nation and across the world. And also for Vice Inserts for giving me a best feel in the biz when it comes to my grips and my thumb slug. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next video.